guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Alicia. I love all things beauty, all things makeup. If you're into that kind of thing, then I think you would really enjoy my content. I hope that you will stick around and subscribe to catch all of my future videos. Today, we are going to be doing this eyeshadow look using the new Urban Decay Marvel Eternals palette. Now, this is the packaging that it comes in here. Very nice. You've got your colors on the back, and as you can see, you've got 15 different eyeshadows. This retails for $65. Now, the packaging, as you can tell, it's kind of bulky. Like, it is, you could definitely travel with this. There is no mirror, as you will see. When you open it up, this is the first thing that it opens to. Inspire greatness across the universe. I do like that saying, but you have to like open up this flap here to get to the actual palette. Now, once you open this up, this is magnetic. It stays. You can set this palette down and it will like sit it down on your desk and it will sit open. It'll sit open and you can, you know, dip in there and get your eyeshadows, but there's no mirror, so you just have to weigh how important that is to you. And I do think it's annoying, that little flap. But I have some other like licensed palettes from Urban Decay, and one of them is the Game of Thrones palette, which this one is extremely bulky. But I love this one. It looks just like a book, and you know, when you open it up, it does have a mirror. And then you've got like a little saying here. It opens up to the little throne. But what I like about this one is that if you don't want to deal with all that, you can just pull the palette right out and sit it on your desk or whatever. So I do like that that one has easier access to the colors themselves. But this is the shades that we're looking at here. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some swatches. All right, we've got Cosmic Blast, Family is Eternal, Immortal Warrior, then you have Strength, love that shade, and then you have In the Shadows, which is a matte black and it's got gold reflex in it. Second row, we've got Devotion. I have that in my crease. We've got Astrolabe. I don't know. But that is like a matte camel color and it's got gold reflex in that. Then you've got Loyalty. I really like this shade. It's like a grungy type of an orange. And then you have Grain of Sand, which I also have in my crease. And then you have got Famous. Wow, that swatched amazing. Those mattes, like the ones that are strictly matte, are extremely creamy and pigmented. Final row I think is the funnest. This one is Merciful, which I have on my lid. Then you have Genius. Gorgeous. You have Soaring. Wow, that one swatched really, really good. And you have got Sonic Boom. Oh no, sorry, Protector. That's Protector, and that's kind of like a duochrome shade. And then lastly, you've got Sonic Boom, which is kind of like a burnt, like ready orange matte shade. Okay, so as you can see, these all pretty much swatched amazing. Typical with Urban Decay formula. Their formula tends to be very good. Now, this one, like I said, it does retail for $65. That's a little bit over their normal price range, and I'm going to assume it's just because of the licensing fee and maybe like the extra packaging that they did. But yeah, normally their palettes are like $49, $56, you know, somewhere in there. This at $65 is a little bit higher, so let's go ahead and do the eyeshadow look and see if that price is justified. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get right in with the makeup look. So let's go ahead and open this up. Now, I will say I don't like that when you open this palette up, you have to like every single time reach down here and grab this little flap to get to the actual palette. Every single time. Now, if this closes by accident, you know, same deal. So as you can tell, there is no mirror. You've got these little, you know, straps here, so this will just like kind of sit open for you on your desk. But again, here is the color story, and obviously I'm going to go into this green. I think we're going to do like a half cut crease with this green. So I think the very first color that I want to use and put into the crease is this shade right here, which is Devotion. Now, the only thing I have on my lids so far is my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, just to prime the eyelids. I used the Moonspell Volume 2 palette yesterday. If you didn't catch that video, you might want to watch that. It was a really good palette, but it did super stain my eyelids. So even with the skin-toned MAC Painterly Paint Pot, like you can still see the pink coming through, but it was worth it. It's worth it. All right, I'm gonna go in here. I will say there is like barely any fallout. I'm gonna get a mirror just so I can see a little bit better here. And just like always, I'm just gonna do one eye on camera and then I'll catch the other up off of camera. All right, so that color blended out really good, you know, not patchy at all. That one performed really nice. Now, to deepen it up just a little bit, I think I'm going to go into this brown shade right here, which is Grain of Sand. I think I'm going to use a smaller little brush for this. This one had a little bit more kick up, so just something to note. And I'm going to put that into the crease as well, but I'm just going to kind of keep it a little bit lower than that shade, just so we have a nice gradient going on. I am going to go into this black with a little bit of shimmer in there. It's got like gold reflex in it, but it's called In the Shadows. Because we're applying this with the brush, you're probably not going to see any of that glitter. It'll probably just perform just like a matte. I'm just going to put this like on the outer corner. And black, I would always start with less and build up because it's very hard to take color away, but you can always add it. Probably about there is where I'm going to stop it. I might add a little bit more. All right, now I'm going to take a little tiny, like little flat brush. I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This one happens to be the shade 12N, which is Fair Neutral. And I'm going to take just a tiny bit of this on my brush. And basically what I'm going to do is just carve out the first little portion of my eye right here. And this is not something that I do very often, but I thought it might look cool with this look. Alright, so now that this is pretty much dry, I'm going to go into this green shade right here, which is Merciful, and I'm going to use that same brush that I used that black with. So just like a flat packer type brush. I'm going to go in here and see how this applies with a brush, and then we'll go from there. But I do want it to be very precise where it like stays in that line. So I'm going to tap that off. And basically, I'm just going to kind of pat this where I want it. And there's still a tiny bit of tackiness on that concealer, so it will just really help to grab the shadow. Alright, so this is what the eye is looking like so far. I'm going to go ahead, catch up the other eye, do the rest of my face makeup, and then we'll be back for the lower lash line and the final thoughts. Alright, I'm back. I've got the rest of my makeup on. I've got on the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Hydra Foundation in this shade 1.0. I've got the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer in shade 08 Light. Almost out of that. I set everything down with the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Powder. I used a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape Starlit Glow Powder. For bronzer, I used my beloved Charlotte Tilbury Look of Love face palette, and I used the bronzer in here. Guys, I got this palette like a few months ago, and it is just, none of my palettes ever look like this, so you can tell how good Charlotte Tilbury quality is. And then for my highlighter, I pulled out an old one, but this is one of the best. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Lightscapade. And this is what it looks like. It's like a marbled with all different colors, right? But it just gives you like the best like natural light type of a glow. I love this powder. Pretty sure you can only get this on MAC's website. They don't sell that on like Ulta or anything like that. And then for the blush, I also pulled a MAC blush. This is again one of my favorites. This is MAC Gingerly. For my brows, I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I have mine in the shade Medium Brown. And then for my lipstick, I'm using an Urban Decay lipstick. This is from the Game of Thrones collection, and this is Sansa Stark. And it is just, it's so comfortable. I love this lipstick. But yeah, we'll go ahead and finish up the lower lash line. Alright, so I'm going to take just a small angled brush, and I'm going to go into that black shade in the shadows. And I'm going to get this as close to the lower lash line as I can. And I'm not going to bring this all the way in. I'm going to kind of stop midway, kind of like where my pupil starts. Okay, Then I'm going to take a little, I think I'm going to take this little smudger brush, and I'm going to go into Grain of Sand right here, which was that second crease shade we used just to kind of deepen everything up. And I'm going to put that right on the outer edges of that. And I am going to bring this in. But basically this is just going to be to blend out that black and make it not look so harsh. And I'm going to concentrate this right here so it'll blend in with the top. And then again, I'm just focusing this on the outer edges and bringing that around. Okay, now I think the final thing that I want to do is go in with this Cosmic Blast shade and use that in the inner corner. I did put a little bit of that Lightscapade under the brow, just FYI. It's a pretty shade. And then I'm going to put it right here and connect that lower lash line as well. All right, I'm going to catch up the other eye and then we'll come back for final thoughts. All right, guys, so this is the completed makeup look. Thoughts on the palette. I really like the color story. I think it's got some interesting colors in here. Love these two. Love this one. I thought that that black actually performed really, really well. I liked the black in here. I like the look that we created. It's something different than what I normally do. I really normally like things really blended and stuff like that. So the cut crease is definitely the opposite of that. But I thought these shadows were very easy to work with, as are most Urban Decay shadows. I think the price point for this is a little bit steep, especially considering you don't have a mirror when you open up the palette. Again, I don't like that it just comes straight up to this, and then you have to lift this extra flap here to get to the actual product. I think that's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. So yeah, at $65, I think that this is more of a collector's piece, or, you know, somebody that is really into Marvel. I don't think that this is something like you necessarily need, you know. That'll be up for you to decide, but that's my thoughts on it. I really liked it. Don't know if it's worth $65, especially with it not having a mirror, and it is kind of a more bulky palette. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.